We play and call it work.
Hey there everyone, it is time for another Watchers in Death narrative campaign. Running this campaign, we have Steve and myself. I will be the GM of this game. Steve will be the player. If you're not familiar with Watchers in Death, you can always go back and check it out on MiniWarGaming.com. This is essentially Season 2.
It was so much fun.
This is the Penumbral Forge, written by Miles Drake. Did a lot of the rules and everything as well. And we'll explain the rules as we play the campaign. And you're about to hear the story time right after this. I just wanted to give you some information as to what this is. This is an Age of Sigmar narrative campaign based in the Realm of Death, Realm of Shyish.
Yep.
And Steve, yeah.
We're saying, okay.
So Steve is playing a group, this is essentially second generation Watchers in Death. This is a cursed Stormcast Eternal, almost storm host. Easiest way to explain it. And they are currently struggling to figure out a way how to lift this curse, or at least make it a little bit easier on themselves. Okay. If you're not a Vault member and you want to watch this entire campaign, because we're going to have the same format where one will be free on YouTube and the second episode will be in the Vault, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, all that stuff, go to miniwargaming.com/forge. That is Forge, and it will be in the description below. If you sign yourself up, you'll get the entire campaign for free, and you get a little bit of taste of the Vault, because we find that if you get that little bit of taste of the Vault, then you want to stick around because it's well worth it. There's just thousands of videos, everyone. There's tons, and you can watch all the other Age of Sigmar narrative campaigns as well. I guess without further ado, let's get to the story time and the actual scenario.
Oh, I'm just tall.
Me too. A dead wind, ridden by the sink of brimstone, decay, and old salt, assailed Augustus's senses, biting at his eyes. The once Lord Celestin's strides plunged deep into the mud, making every step a chore, made worse by the bulk of his heavy warplate. "There is a path ahead," Huron called, the head moving into a small copse of gnarled dead trees in the distance. Though he was scarcely a dozen meters away, the stinking fog almost cloaked him completely. The entire landscape around the three Watchers was obscured by a stagnant mist, and the withered branches of the corpse trees extended from the haze like grasping skeletal limbs. "A path!" Zana called. She moved on Augustus's flank, and like the raptor, was less hindered in her lighter armor. The corpuscent aura perpetually shrouding her made the mud sizzle, and kept the biting flies off of her. "Yes, some rickety thing," Huron returned. "And no, it's not one of their paths," he said, answering Augustus's unasked question. "We're still in the coastal marshes. They wouldn't have come up here much, and they certainly wouldn't build here, not where Nagash might have seen them." Zana followed Huron into the copse of trees. Her lower robes and greaves were caked in mud. With a grimace, she flicked off as much of it as possible. "Ugh, this filth will take hours to scrub away." Her accent, haughty and noble, was that of a Haishborn, even if Augustus did not know what Stormhost she'd once belonged to. He couldn't even remember his own, the part of him that had been stripped away, a dire fate shared by all of the Watchers. They were dead and gone to Sigmar's light. The Lord Castellant clambered up after Zana. She stopped to assist him. He was thankful to feel gnarled roots beneath his feet. They provided much more stable footing than the squelching mud. Normally, Augustus felt as at home in his warplate as he did in his own skin, but in such terrain, he almost wished he wore lighter attire. "We are going in the right direction, yes?" Zana asked, moving to Huron's side. Augustus followed her, staring out at what the raptor was looking at. Sure enough, he saw a crude walkway jutting from the ruin of some abandoned watchtower. The watchtower looked to be an ancient human construction, perhaps a remnant of the old Revenant kingdoms that once ruled these lands, but Augustus couldn't be certain. The walkway looked newer, made of ramshackle planks, decorated with strange symbols. "Matthias warned us of this marsh," Huron said, after a moment. His voice was low and guttural. Augustus guessed he was from Gur, but neither of them knew. "We follow it until it drops into the Kaphtar Sea bed, and then we go down." To Augustus, the marsh looked like it went nowhere, but Huron had an astral compass, which supposedly held true, even in the gloom of Shyish. The Lord Celestin felt his pouch. It had slipped in the mud a while back, and he'd almost lost its contents. He double-checked that all of the gems were still there. They only had a few left, and as of recent, they'd encountered almost nothing from which to harvest more. If they didn't reach this practitioner of soul magic that Matthias had sent them to find, or find creatures powerful enough to draw the crystallized soul essence from, the pull would soon claim them. He felt it in his bones. It was as though every step he took was made against a strong current. A current that pulled him towards one of the few things he was still able to fear from their whispered words around their campfires over their weeks-long journey. He knew his companions felt the same thing, and they also feared it. Fear was not an emotion they were used to, but when the devouring darkness of the Shyish Nadir pulled at everything they were, it was inescapable. Fear was as inevitable as the soul-devouring maelstrom that awaited them if they failed to find the one thing that might save them. Consuming their soul gems was a relief from that pull, a surge of warmth and fire that almost made them feel alive again. It was enough to stave off the hunger of the Nadir, if but for a short time. Matthias, their master and leader of the Watchers in Death, had been the only one to permanently stave off that hunger, and he'd done so through the assistance of the Soul Mage, the very recluse they sought. It was unfortunate that this mage had decided to hide himself in the depths of a drained ocean. It was even more unfortunate that he belonged to a people that were very good at concealing themselves. Finding their quarry would be a challenge. And that was only the beginning. Only the start of the monumental task Matthias had put on Augustus's shoulders. The Lord Celestin shook his head as he followed Huron and Zana back into the mud. At least, once they reached the path, they would be out of it for the time being. He hoped that the path would lead all the way to the sea's edge, and he could only pray that the exposed seabed was easier terrain. As they reached the tower, scrambling up the slope of the small rocky island and moving onto the elevated boardwalk, Augustus pondered what was ahead. "Find the smith who can forge the phylactery," he whispered to himself. His quest had become a mantra, a reminder of purpose that provided a spark of reinvigoration bright enough for him to remember that the Nadir had not yet claimed him. Only one smith in all of the realm can work pure shade glass, he continued. We must seek his hidden forge. Zana overheard him and finished his words, lending her strength to his own. Through the smith and the phylactery, we can trap the soul of a god beast. And through the fire of that soul, we can be free of our curse and cast off our damnation. He nodded at her. Both Zana and Huron were from the second generation of Watchers, souls cursed by an ill-fated ritual, forever concealed from the gods. In death, the curse had pulled them to the Shyish Nadir, rather than back up to Azir, as was meant to be. They had awoken, stripped of memory, and in many ways, stripped of life. Only a guttering candle of a soul remained within their hearts. A pale mockery of something that once burned so bright. Zana's burned brighter than most. Augustus knew not whether it was an aberration in the curse, or whether it was merely her strength of will, but he was thankful for it. She was a torch amidst the darkness, and her words often reminded him of his purpose, of who he was. As Huron led further along the ramshackle path as it branched, split, and converged deeper and deeper into the marsh, Augustus suddenly became acutely aware. He felt a deep, dark yearning, a hunger, twisted and ravenous. It was the other thing he feared. Huron had stopped, holding up a hand. "Eyes in the dock," the raptor said, raising his hurricane crossbow and checking his clip of quarrels. Skittering feet, scrabbling through mud and decay, chittering teeth and seething eyes. "Speak normally," Zana hissed. "What do you hear?" "Skaven," Huron whispered. "Well, I guess we know who built these paths then," Zana said, just as the vile ratmen emerged from the putrid mist.
Before we get into the game, why don't we introduce the second generation of Watchers in Death, minus, of course, Augustus in the middle, who will be leading these two second generation Watchers. We have Augustus in the center. We're not going to be using the same upgrades he had last game because that would make him
Ridiculous.
Yeah, quite powerful. So he is kind of reset down to a more manageable standard, and he'll be leveling up with the rest of his little group of misfits. And this campaign is going to be kind of cool too. I want to mention we're going to be essentially acquiring people throughout the campaign that might not be Watchers in Death.
Ooh.
And you'll get cool little unique guys as well.
Interesting.
But he's pretty much your standard Lord Celestin. In fact, I even have his little sheet here. We printed out these sheets here. that are going to have essentially the upgrades added to them between each game. We're going to reprint them, adding upgrades. Say you get like extra attacks on your weapons or extra abilities, or your abilities get upgraded, then that'll be represented here on the sheets so they don't get too messy. We can always just kind of reference them. But he is a Lord Celestin. He's got somewhat of the same characteristics as the Lord Celestin, though a little bit of changes here and there. Here we have Zana Occasion. She is an evocator. But we're using the knight model instead, just because to give her a little bit more personality, not just a standard model. She will know Empower and a specific spell called Corpuscant Auk. So you pick a unit within 12 inches, and you roll a d6 for every model in the unit for every 6 up, except for Mortal Wound. That can be upgraded through the upgrade tree, which we'll show you guys when we get to that later in the game. That can start wounding things on a 5 up. Or just like be a little more powerful, or like -1 to hit modifier, stuff like that. So you're going to mostly see the abilities have here just upgraded. Now the Celestial Lightning Arc is not the same as the normal Evocator one. It lacks the ability to do mortal wounds after she attacks. She simply just has the rerolling save rolls of 1 against missile weapons that target her, as she kind of twirls her weapons and deflects them. And it gives it to nearby allies as well. And she's a level 1 wizard right now currently. This here is Huron Namrek. He is a vanguard. He is essentially the trailblazer of the unit. He's the scout. He explores, he takes the front, he makes sure the path is safe. His unique things are his Hurricane Crossbow. He can choose to stand still, get 6 shots instead of 3, hitting on better as well. But if he moves, he at least has the option of mobile fire, which is not as effective, but it could still be pretty useful. Of course, he can upgrade his range attacks as he levels up as well. And every time we do level up, we'll do it at the end of the phase, just so you get the effects or the benefits right away. He also has Suppressing Fire. If a unit suffers 1 or more wounds from his Hurricane Crossbow, it subtracts 2 from its movement, may not advance, and subtracts 2 from its charge rolls until the start of your next hero phase. So he's got a good utility ability there. And that's it. Just a little group of 3 guys right now. Boop. But it may get bigger. Here we see our ambushed adventurers surrounded by Skaven in the swamps of Shaish. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of the rules of this campaign in addition to the rules of the scenario. This scenario, being an intro scenario, is pretty basic, nothing crazy. The ultimate goal here is to get from over here and clear the swamp. And there's going to be a little miasmal fog that kind of obscures vision up to about 18 inches away. So as you're kind of walking around, it'll reveal things as you get within 18 inches of them. In this specific scenario here, you've been ambushed by Skaven. We have 2 squads of clan rats, 10-man squads, and gutter runners with a Deathmaster? It was a Deathmaster leading them. If you are familiar with last campaign, you'll be familiar with the minion rules to kind of keep the pace of the game going, so that I can throw larger units of hordes against Steven. Against Steven to me. That's weird. Against Steve, where there was only 9 there too, and that was driving me nuts as I was speaking. Anyways, the minion rules are being changed. Well, they're not being changed from last campaign, but it's a drastic change from hordes to minions in this campaign. Essentially, all Steve has to do to kill a model in a unit of minions is hit it. Say they have 4 attacks, they hit on 3s, they roll 4 dice every 3 up as a dead minion. And now you're not going to get experience for killing those minions, but you will be able to cleave through them pretty quickly. I'm going to have it set up so for every 5 minions you kill, because the experience table's been kind of shrunk a little bit, drastically lowered. If you kill 5 minions, or if you kill a unit of minions that had increments of 5 models, that's 1 experience per 5. So they're 10-man units, that's 2 experience for wiping them out.
Nice.
When it comes to killing like heroes, or just characters that aren't minions, or just any model in general, it's 1 experience per wound, in addition to 1 experience for killing the unit. And if for whatever reason it had 5 or more models, it'd be worth 2 experience. Things for like brutes that are 5... Actually, no, sorry, that's only for minions. For killing a unit, it's 1 experience, but if you kill a minions unit, it's 1 experience per 5 models. And in addition, heroes, whoever strikes the killing blow to a hero or monster gets an additional D3 experience on top of the experience for actually wounding said monster or hero. And in this case for the minions as well, to speed up gameplay on them, instead of rolling all of them, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, I'm going to just kind of take an average. I'll roll a single die, and it'll be like, I wound on a 5. Something like that, just to keep it quick and keep the action going. And that's pretty much it. If anything else comes up, I'll explain it, but that's all I can think of for now. And in this case, you were ambushed. So on a 4-up, you're going to get to go first here, Steve.
Alrighty.
Just to kind of represent, you know, the preternatural speed of the Stormcast Eternals. They're pretty elite, so maybe they'll be able to jump on the situation and get right into the fray here. So yes.
Oh.
So it's going to be turn 1 for the Stormcast Eternals.
I only roll 6s.
Yeah, that's hey, if you only roll 6s, I would give you'll go right through these clan rats pretty quickly. Well, Steve, it's your hero phase. You hit your command point.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything in the hero phase.
That's fair.
Yeah, just chop them up.
Yeah, just going to kill stuff.
Yep. We're just, we got to be aggressive because...
Essentially, ambush the ambushers.
That's what we do. Huron in the shooting phase and fire his crossbow at these poor Skaven. He's hitting on... Okay.
Oh, okay, so he hits on 4s, he kills 0 Skaven.
We got a Sigmarite war cloak, a little different from his other war scroll. Oop, knocked over a tree. 6 attacks. We're going to go after them.
As he twirls cloaks.
You know what? We should just go after him.
He does have Lookout Sir.
I hit on 4s. It's got 2 red.
Do it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna oh, just 1 miss. And 3s. Oh no.
3 wounds is pretty good. Puts his save right to a 6 up because of the -2 in the cloak. Oh no! He takes 3 and he gains 3 experience. Putting him down to 2, and that is 3 experience for Augustus. First blood, too. Nice. No ranged attack on Zana, so right on to charges.
Oh, you know what? She should have something in the face. I was actually thinking it's the shooting phase.
Yeah, no, she's a wizard. We should remember that. She knows Arcane Bolt, Mystic Shield, obviously, and the Empower and the other spell as well. A couple of things I want to note. I forgot to mention earlier regarding experience. You gain 1 experience for each successful save roll of 6. You get 1 experience per wound healed on an ally. You get an experience for casting a spell or using an ability that does not deal damage or heal allies. So essentially, support abilities, like command abilities and stuff like that. 1 experience for successfully unbinding a spell, and D3 for unbinding an endless spell.
Ooh, okay.
Or dispelling an endless spell. Either one. Corpuscant Arc!
Yes.
Goes off on a 6. It does. So you get to pick.
Well, I'm going to go after this squad because I only roll 5s and 6s anyway. So
You're just going to kill them all?
Yeah,
Alright, so
get 6s.
5 rolls and then...
we get 1.
1 dice, and that's... Oh, they are troops as well. They're minions. Because they're not that great. Back to charging.
Alright, we're starting off with Huron.
Boop. He's going to charge 8. You know, I'm just going to pull a guy. Forgot to. Boop.
Well, I don't think... I'm going to get through there. Bring over here.
Oh, he's going to go for the assassinate?
Oh, yeah. Augustus will try to do something.
Yeah, 8's pretty good. So. Gonna go over there. Another rule I want to note that I forgot to mention earlier: as long as you stay on the paths on the map, your movement won't be hindered. But the second you start jumping into the actual swamp, your movement will be cut in half. And if you go through the black mess, 1 inch counts as 3. Just to move through that.
Apparently, heavy armor is heavy.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah, heavy armor. Heavy armor is pretty heavy.
No reason not to roll. Nah, not going nowhere.
No, 5. No. Because that would cost like 2 for going through there, and then you have to try and stick to the path. Don't jump in the swamp. Bad idea.
Oh, we're after him. We're doing it.
You will get Lookout Sir in close combat as well, because these are of course Skaven tied.
Yeah. Alright, we're hitting all 4s because of Lookout Sir in combat.
2 hits,
like
not bad. What do you wound on?
3s. Nope.
4s.
4s.
1 wound. His generic sword is not the best. 4 up. Still does a wound though. He gets an experience, and the assassin goes down to 1. I'll go next with these guys, and they'll pile in and around. That guy has to stay there, so we'll go to there, and then we'll go 2 and 2. So they have 2 attacks each, normally, so I'll give you an example of how the minion rules work exactly. So they have 2 attacks each, hitting on 3s, wound on 4s. So I'm just going to roll 1 dice for each of them. For every 4 is just a wound. So keep it simple. So on to the general there. Double 6.
I like it.
And there's Ren to their attacks as well. So there's Ren 1, he's got a 4-up armor save. And he is taking 1 singular damage.
Now, does the Ren affect my...
Oh no, it's unmodified rolls a 6. So he gains 1 experience for the unmodified roll
like
of 6. Just because I don't feel like dealing with modifiers. So those 2 are attacking Huron. And we get 1 single wound on him as well. Down to 3. Oops, down 4 on him. And then Huron's got 1 armor save of 5 up because of the rend. No, that's an experience for him too. Okay, I guess it's just 6s all day.
No, he's gonna fight. Sword has 5 attacks because it charged. Hitting on 3s.
And that just kills all 4 of them. Don't have to roll. And that is going to be 1 experience for the Lord there as he kills a minion squad. The Deathmaster is going to pile in around over here and dance the dance with Huron. He's got 3 attacks with his Weeping Blades on 3s. Oh, 3s. 2 wounds at -1.
5 up.
Oh no. That's gonna be 3 damage, 2d3.
Oh goodness.
All right, so that was pretty scary. It's my turn now. The rats are gonna suffer the swamp, of course, but they're still gonna move up pretty close. I guess they still have to stay more than 3 away, so they'll do that. They go through the swamps. The Death Master is going to reveal throwing stars from his cloak and throw them at Huron. Forced to hit. An unmodified roll of 6 counts as 2 hits, so we have 4 hits.
Nice.
And 5's to wound. 1 wound, no rend.
4 up.
Oh, this man's going down.
Oh no, Huron. Didn't like.
As if shooting, we're going to have charge with these rats. With a total of 9, essentially 5-ish to get into combat because of the swamp. They make it in. And they're going to swarm her. And they're all armed with swords and shields because they're awful with spears and shields in a 10-man unit. This is all we have here. Give me a break. And this squad's going to charge. Oh, they fail.
Okay.
I'm like, who to go? I look over here and I'm like, oh no! The Weeping Blades! Well, here's the Weeping Blades on 3s. Oh, 1 miss. 3's to wound. 2 wounds. He's going to die right away.
No, I got this.
He'll
be fine.
He can't die.
Here are 5s.
No! 1 and 2. And he's going to suffer. Oh, 6 damage! We have a new wounding mechanic in the game. We just kind of swapped the dice out because we might need red ones. So we're going to roll 2d6 and consult the chart. The higher you roll, the worse it is. Okay, 11. There. So that's fine. You're not dead. You're pulverized by his Weeping Blades. The character stays on the battlefield with 1 wound token. With 1 wound. This character is knocked down. This character may not be used at all until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
All melee attacks made against this character are +1 to hit, +1 wound. At the end of your next turn, you may stand this character up again and use them as normal. Gain 1 wound token. The way the new wound tokens work is essentially you roll the 2d6 and add the amount of wound tokens you have on him. The higher on the chart you get, the worse it is. Once you roll a 12, they're out of the game. They're downed. And then you can go 13, 14, 15. Those are even worse.
Oh, no.
All right, you get to go over here then.
4 action on 3s.
Whee! Okay, it's 4 dead guys.
I like it.
They do 2 damage each. Well, 4 dead guys. Boom, boom, boom. But that is 2 damage each, so that is going to kill 8 of them. So that's how that works. If anyone's curious, if you do 2 damage for every hit roll, you do that many damage. Just to keep up the pace of the game. So that is 2 left. They're probably going to be running, but they're going to go ahead and fight first. They have 1 attack each, so the hit on 4 is normally, wound on 4 is normally. So I'm going to roll 2 dice for every 5 up is a wound. There we go. We got a wound.
4 up. Nope.
That's 1 damage. Right onto Battle Shock, where they obviously run away. I don't have to roll. And because she did the most amount of damage to them, it's a minion running away. She'll get the experience. Which is 2, because that was a minion unit of 10 models. And that is it for my turn. This guy can't be used until he can't stand up until the end of the next turn. Brings it to our Watchers in Death, where they get another command point going up to 2.
Okay, feeling cocky that she's able to take on 10 Skaven, and that guy couldn't take on 1.
Okay.
She's going to go ahead and save him with a smite.
Smite! That's a mortal wound. Okay, so she gets 1 plus D3 experience for this killing blow on a hero. She gets a total of 3. That gutter runner goes down. Or Death Master, sorry. On to movement.
Yep. We're going to advance.
An extra 4.
Ooh, we're going to make it a 6.
You're just going to make it a 6? Alright, so that's 1 of your 2 command points. She goes an extra 2 inches on top of that roll. Just right
11
past.
takes me to there.
And was that pointing on
And
laughing?
pointing laughing, like, how you felt.
Yeah, you know, Huron's the gruff kind of. He's from Gur. He's from the realm of beasts. He's like he knows everything.
Kind of a jerk.
Kind of gets taken up by the Death Master. Cloaks.
The cloak. It's gonna be 3 shots this
3
time.
shots at them.
3s.
Kills 2. Whoop, whoop.
We stand up in the turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was worse.
But he was confident.
Yeah,
I like that.
he was.
He walked up. I've got this. Oh, Battle Shock on them. They lost 2. 8. Oh my goodness. 4. 4. 4 run away. So as you're less distracted by fighting the Skaven and evading that ambush successfully, by the way, you're gonna notice that in the mists in the swamp, zombies start to meander about. They don't look like they're coming directly for you, but they are kind of aimlessly walking around, and you do notice that they are out in great number. And this is essentially on the Skaven turn, the bad turn. This little group of 10 march up in vision, and they're 9 inches away. So they're going to attempt a 9-inch charge, which they fail, and that is it for my turn. as you're slowly getting swarmed by undead. Or they're walking in this direction. Maybe the noise is attracting them, but they're not going very fast.
Okay.
Hero phase!
We're gonna try their corpskin dark.
Woo! Okay. You got it. There's no perils or anything like that, so I assume on them.
Yep.
So
I only grabbed 6 dice, so we're gonna do these 4.
So nothing.
Or these 6.
And hey, you killed 3 of them. That's a morale. Moving forward.
Everybody is gonna move on forward.
Shoot.
We're gonna shoot. We'll do a cloak first, which will be 3 shots.
3 shots from his cloak.
2 dead.
Kills 2 of them off.
And 3 shots from a bow.
Hang on, that's 2 more dead. Charging.
The brave Huron will charge.
5?
5 makes it by himself. Doesn't need extra half inch. Augustus is next.
Nope, he makes it no problem.
And then we'll send in
Zana.
Zana.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, they're gonna go in there. Who do you want to get the experience?
Oh. You know what?
They all have They all have unique upgrade tables.
I'm gonna say Huron.
Huron?
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be Huron.
Because he's not gonna do it. He has to hit all 3 times.
I believe in him though.
Alright.
3. Hey,
got it!
That's 2 experience for him. Nice. Boop boop. I totally forgot to run these Skaven up last turn, but it's 4 Skaven. They're not going to do anything. Yeah, they're pretty much out of this. As you end your turn there, the zombies start kind of muttering about in the swamps, getting a little bit closer, and you're going to notice that much more are coming to. Much more than just a small amount of zombies. In fact, as they move together, they start to form together and form hordes, as they normally do mechanically. Horrible. They grow in size. And you're also going to notice, deeper in the swamp, a few Skaven fighting these zombies in the distance. And you can hear more fighting further into the distance. In fact, the further in this direction you go, you hear kind of like marching orders. And specifically from over here, you hear the clanging of metal and loud grunts from behind them as Skaven start to march through that little tunnel and into this open area here. But that is their turn.
We go back where we came.
You could. I can't stop you. The noise I was attempting to make there was in reference to Vermintide, if you've ever played it. The marching storm vermin.
What's the song again?
That's what I remember off the top of my head. I could be horribly wrong though. Protect the warlord! As they clamor forth and
Protect the what?
the warlord.
Oh, where is he?
He's not there.
No.
They're guarding that little thing over there. I mean, you can go this way if you wanted to, but it's kind of it's.
I'm following the.
It's alright. That's 100%. You killed it. You're way better than me even. It's foggy. It's foggy over there. So that's the undead kind of marching this way, fighting Skaven turn as they take position, and we're gonna treat the storm vermin as minions as well because, well, let's face it, they're not that great. We're back to your hero phase.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna do that corpulent arc again because
Corpulent arc.
Is that what it is?
Corpuscant.
That's what I said.
I think I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. I can't deny it. So it's 20 clan rats.
Now we do this twice.
We have 2 so far, and 5.
Nice.
So the front row go down to the spell.
We're gonna move
Forward. Keep pushing through.
He's gonna stay put.
Oh yeah, you can get 6 shots.
Yeah, I want to see if we can get some good shots off.
Alrighty, and we're gonna we'll remember that they can't run and they get -2 to their charge if they are hit or if they suffer wounds. So we're on to shooting with him. 6 shots on.
All right, we're gonna put him on that unit of storm vermin. That unit of storm
There you go.
vermin.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
3.
So he kills 3 of them. Go down. Ah! I'm only making them minions because in squads of 5 they're pretty poo. They wound on 3s. Die.
And the cloak.
Cloak. 2. That was
guess-
even a roll.
It slid off my hand. We're gonna put it on. No, shoot official scout.
Take that off.
1.
1 hits. That does kill 1. Banner stays alive.
Lots of charges. Start off with Augustus.
Woo!
Oh.
Oh my.
And the rat killer.
Rat killer. Okay.
Rat
I'm like,
killer.
wait, her name's not. I think you said rat. I don't even know what
Rat
you
killer.
said.
She's the rat killer.
And then he's gonna.
And yeah, he's definitely gonna give it a shot.
8.
Maybe.
as you cut through rats, ending there. And then as you go there, you can see a little bit further over here. You see these giant abominations being prodded by this little rat with a large stick behind them, and some storm vermin guarding, well, him, I suppose. And he's edging them forward towards you.
That'll be fun.
Where would you like to fight first?
Well, in the combat phase, I'm going to use his command ability to give her Furious Retribution for +1 to hit, and then she's going to fight first to save poor Huron.
Okay, that's fair.
I need no ones!
No!
6 die.
So 6 go down. 3, let's see, 6.
Oh, go figure!
Well, that's crazy. Now, do I go with the storm vermin or not? This poor guy's all alone. You know what? Let's try and be mean. Let's try and take out Huron for his hubris, doubting the power of the rat.
These all happen to die right here. I guess it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, perfect. And then this one is gonna have to attack the captain. I'm gonna have a hard time not saying captain. It's Lord Castellan. Wounding on 5. Hey! He's got 3 up armor save though. No! And we got 6 attacks on him on 5s. We're not gonna get me though, you're fine. Oh, we got 2 wounds! 2 4-up armor saves on him. His Stormcast armor is really tough though. Oh my goodness! He's cursed!
Did I like give you experience for that?
He's cursed! Alright, so again, rolling on the chart, adding. Oh, he's dead!
You monster! I'm supposed to roll!
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I feel bad. You can roll.
No!
I feel bad. I got so
You monster!
We got a 13. Let's see. Okay, he's not dead actually. I think we just got a 13. He is felled. We have the wound table here for anyone who's curious to read it. We got felled. Remove this character from the battlefield plus 1 to their injury roll at the end of the game. All right. I guess we're gonna be dragging him behind. I get the Lord.
Okay, well, we're gonna put the hammer into the rats and the swords into the storm vermin.
All right, into the storm vermin.
Swords on 3s.
He kills 3 storm vermin. Very powerful.
Hammer on 4s.
Killing one of them. We're gonna go ahead and pile in this lone storm vermin. He's gonna attack. So he hits on 4s, normally wounds on 3s, but he's got 2 attacks. So what I'm gonna do is just 1 die on a 4.
You might as well do all the storm vermin.
Actually, yeah, I might as well. Yeah. So I'm gonna do, instead of rolling 2 attacks for each of them, I'm just gonna say they each have 1 attack that wounds on a 4 with rend. 2 with rend.
4 up. Can't hurt me.
Oh wow, he is tough. That is it for your turn.
Nope. Just run away now.
That's my rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's probably gonna run away. So running for the storm vermin. Yep, he's gone. In fact, he runs over this way and gets clobbered by the ogres, and they both rip him into 4 pieces.
He gets punished hard.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal actually. They lost 3, the bravery 5, so 9. They're running. I guess. Was it him who killed the ones that ran earlier? Who shot them? Was it Huron who shot them?
Yeah, it was Huron.
He gets the experience for them running. Yes. And then that'll be the Lord Castellan Augustus getting experience for those guys running. There's only 6 there, so they lost 14. They're running. Scatter! Scurry!
Does she?
Yeah, she would get 4 experience.
You have 4?
Wait, 1, 2. Yeah, 4. Because it's squad of 20. That puts you at 13 experience. Everyone, we have our first level up. So each one's got a special chart. We have the upgrade table for Zana Arcasian. This is a D66 roll. And we have, well, a lot of options here. Some are dealt like 21 to 24, 14 to 15, stuff like that they double up on. But and some of these you can get multiple times as well. It'll note there.
Nice.
So why don't we go ahead and roll the 10s?
The mountain is first, because the mountain is always first.
Always first. 51. So we go to 51. Reinforced armor.
Ooh, I like it.
She's just got a base 3-up armor save now.
I like it.
And that's kind of her, well, reinforcing her armor, or at least learning how to fight better in it. Nothing to do with the hero phase. The rat ogres pile through this rock, single file. The Packmaster follows behind. And then the storm vermin are going to go over here and protect.
I'm learning it.
All 5 of them at the same time. No shooting, just charging. Rat ogres, charge! Boom!
I'd measure that.
You'd measure that? Okay, I'll do it off.
Okay.
And then the Packmaster is going to, I don't even know. Yeah, well, he's just going to stay there because he's already within 12. So they're going to just kind of watch the rat ogres go there and rip them to shreds. I'm going to note neither of them have the warp fire gun. So these hit on 4s. 6s are good. We have no 6s. That's pretty good.
3 hits.
Pretty good. 3's to wound. 2 at -1. -1. Ooh, that's flat 2 damage.
Boop.
Boop.
I love it. She's going to go before you. Pull
Pile
that
in.
one away.
And then Grand Staff.
3s. And
threes.
Get my hand.
1.
No rend on that staff. We failed to save. That's 2 experience for her. They have 4 wounds each. And then you might as well go with him.
Yep, sword. 3s.
3s.
And 3s.
2 wounds, no rend.
There's a rend on the sword.
There is? Alright. I failed both my saves. He does cut one down.
Oh, sorry, the sword has no rend.
I failed both my saves anyways. So that's 2 experience for him. Well, I guess he can do his hammer.
This hammer has 2 rend, but they both missed.
Okay. So he gets 2 experience. Does that put him at 10?
Yes, it does.
Nice. So we can go and level him up. It's the end of the combat phase.
No, it doesn't. Math is sometimes difficult.
It's okay. He's at like 9.
I have to use all 10 of my dice to do it. I had dice in my hand, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that.
That's it for the Skaven turn. The Skaven people are like, oh, but the Packmaster gives them +1 to hit if they're wholly within 12. I know. I forgot. And now here's the wounds, because I had two 3s to hit him. Nothing. There we go. Done.
Hey,
clean.
so you happen to forget?
That's the dice. Always fix. Your turn. You get a command point. You're down a man.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna cast the healing wind. No, I don't have that.
No.
Okay, so
Not
what I'm
yet.
gonna do, then I'm gonna empower. I'm gonna empower the Lord Celestant.
And you get it.
I get it.
That's an experience.
Lord Celestant's gonna shoot.
Shoot. Cloak. 3 shots.
Has to go after the Retoger. 2 hits.
And,
3s. 1.
-1.
-1.
That's an experience because he's only got a 5 up save. Down to 3 wounds. Did you want? Oh, she's already in combat.
So yeah, he's just gonna put him down. We're doing the hammer.
Yeah, no charging right onto the hammer. So
Hitting on 4s.
1 hit. 1
3s.
wound.
-2.
No save, so that's another experience. He's down at 2. And we got the sword still. So now with the sword,
3s.
3 hits.
Oh, wait, what does the power do?
+1 to wound, I believe. It is re-rolling failed wound rolls.
3s to wound.
So 3 wounds.
With a rend.
Rend 1.
6 of save.
We take 2 damage. He dies. That's 2 more. 3 in total for the Capitan, or sorry, the Lord Celestant Augustus. They killed the big ones. And that's a level up for Augustus after killing this rat ogre. So at the end of the fight phase here, 56. This is his table for anyone interested. We got a 56. Tempest of Falling Stars. It costs a command point. Use it at the start of the shooting phase to increase the damage of his Sigmarite Warcloak to D3 for that shooting
that's
phase.
pretty good. I like that too.
Interesting. Get out of my way! He charges through them, and they panic and start running in this direction as well on their turn. In addition to those Skaven running away, you notice more conflict in this direction. The zombies are starting to move in and enclose around you, and you can hear a commotion going on over here, and the fighting seems to have wrapped all around you as the hordes of zombies start to collect over here as well. But it is your turn. You get a command point.
Yes, I need to Mystic Shield my boss.
Okay, Mystic Shield. Got it.
Yeah.
You got it. So that's a victory point, or not a victory point. What am I saying? The experience point.
She's not gonna run.
She's not going to run.
No, now going to run. Sorry.
Oh, she's okay. There we go. She's going 10.
English is. It's all the way up to here.
I'm gonna go ahead and move this guy too and see what's up.
Wait.
But just to note, he's not running. He's just moving.
She's my scout.
Oh, she's the yeah, because the other guy is that. You know what? He's slowed down because he's dragging his unconscious body behind him. As you look down the boardway, you see a large host of Skaven. You see even more in the distance, and they seem to be led by a warlord. Dark metal man things dare to scamper stomp through the lands of Warlord's Greek Throatraker! Then the dark metal man things shall face death at the clawed teeth of Warlord's Greek's mightiest warriors! With an agitated gesture, the warlord calls for his Stormvermin to rush the Watchers, all the while staying behind his black-furred bodyguards. Warlord's Greek shall bravely oversee the battle from here. Now get in that hole! A few of the clan rats start jumping into the hole. And that is your movement, so we'll go on to the Skaven turn over here. Get them! So they start marching towards you. Boom, boom, down the boardwalk here, so it's a little narrow. They don't want to get fighting in the swamp. They too are wearing heavy-ish armor.
Heavy-ish.
And as they're moving up, there's a large gong in the distance as you hear a bell ringing. Go! And then they all start looking at each other like, okay, we go. So they start walking off in the distance over here, and about that many go, and the Packmaster also turns around and goes. And then the clan rats also kind of just go through the muck, and instead of jumping in the hole, which they were commanded to do, they go off the board edge. And they're disobedient. And then he just kind of follows behind all of these storm vermin. And in fact, they're going to run an extra 6. Oh boy, let's just go right up to you then. And that is their turn. I'll deal with the dead things after you. But now it's your turn. So you get a command point and hero face.
Corpseland Flux?
Yeah, 100% that.
Is that wrong?
Goes off on a 6. Oh, you got it. And there's how many is there? I don't even remember.
15.
Yeah, 15 there, and 6s.
1.
So dies.
Augustus will move up.
And what about Zana there?
And you know what? Yes.
Her too.
She will.
Oh, she's gonna. Oh, are you gonna kind of tag team it? Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be the hero.
And then are you gonna spend a command point on his cloak?
I am.
Nice.
I am.
It was called. Yeah, Steve got it. Tempest of Falling Stars on her or him.
D6 attacks. Uh-oh.
2 hitting on 3s.
Yup. Oh, get in my hand.
Nice. That's 2d3 dead though because it changes the damage characteristic to
Right.
2d3.
So let's see if it was worth it. 4.
Yeah, kills 4 of them. All right. So we'll kill off these 4.
Augustus is gonna charge first. Let's put a command point. Got those ones out of the way.
This is your last command point, I think.
9.
We do have 1 command point left after that, so that's a 9?
I don't think I.
He does, he gets right in there. That's a 9 on the dot. I assume you want to go over here?
Yep.
Something to make room for Zana. Zana's going to attempt to charge. That's a fail.
I'll use the last one.
Last command point.
Oh wait, do I wanna?
Last command point.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Alright, no more command points.
Nope.
4?
No.
Nope.
No.
Alright, so it's just the captain all on his own.
Okay.
The Claw Lord is going to issue Gnash Gnaw on their bones on them at the start of the combat phase.
I don't know what that does.
That's essentially +1 to their attack characteristics. So I'll figure out any that live. I'll figure out what that is.
Fair enough. Hammer, swords. Oh wait, sorry. Hammer gets extra.
Yeah, because he charged.
3s and 4s.
So okay, so he cuts down 4 of them from around the Claw Lord. So these 4 are going to die. 3 and 4. Yep.
Oh, now they come from the back. I get it.
Yeah, they die from the back now. 100%. And they pile in and around.
Don't kill me, bro.
This could do something. Maybe. Maybe nothing. So with Gnash and Gnaw is 3 attacks each. The average kind of comes about like about 1.5 wounds per model. So we're going to say that they wound on 2s at the rend. So we have 5 wounds.
Not bad.
A rend have a 4-up save. Oh, all right. Why don't you go ahead and roll the 2d6 then before I rob you of it?
Oh, come on!
That is a head wound. The character stays on the battlefield with 1 wound suffer, 1 wound remaining, -1 to all hit for the rest of the battle, and he may no longer use any abilities, so command abilities.
Oh no.
And he has a wound token. So it lost 9 on that unit, so a total of 7. Wait, no, I lost 9. It's a total of 11. So 6 are running. That's all of them. They all boogie. They all start because the combat happens at the same time. So they start jumping over into the swamp.
Goodbye.
I'll just do it myself then. So he'll get 3 experience for them running away because of the unit. Moves forward, and well, I guess he's going to charge. He's going to shooting attack. Boof! He goes forward to try and take out Augustus. Now he is going to be a little bit stronger than your average Claw Lord, so he's going to have 5 attacks. Instead of the 3 normally. He hits on 3s, and he's going to have more wounds as well. So the way his rule works, the more wound he suffers, the more attacks he gets. So he could scale pretty high if you don't kill him in one go. I have 3 misses, though. And 1 wound at rend 1.
4!
He's fine. He takes it. Not bad. You get to fight back.
Sword!
So it's -1 to hit.
Oh!
So got
and 3.
Got the head wound.
Was
So
it
it
2
was 2 hits. It was 2 hits.
And 3.
2 wounds. I make both my saves. Hammer
hits on 5s.
1 hit.
And at least that. -2.
That's 6-up armor save. Oh no, the Claw Lord. Your turn. You get your 1 commanded point, but you can't use any command abilities. Arcane Bolt.
Arcane Bolt!
Looking for a big one.
Nope.
That's a fail. Okay.
Alright, we'll move up within 3.
And
Yeah,
charge.
we'll charge.
Oh, you get the shooting attack. You can still do your shooting attack.
Okay, true.
So you'll make your 9. Well, you say you make your charge. So D6 shots.
Ooh,
5
5
shots. Oh, yeah, 4.
4s now.
Okay, 2 hits.
Alright, 3s. Just 1.
-2, 6 up. He takes a damage. He's gonna have 6 wounds left. She then makes her charge, and you get to fight with either one of these.
I'll be her.
Alright, she's gonna go Grand Staff, hitting on 3s. That's pretty good.
And 3s. Okay.
That's pretty good.
I can kill you.
You could. 4-up save. He takes it. Oh no, he's got 2.
He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me.
He's got +5 attacks.
He's gonna kill me.
He's got +5 attacks. So, because he's got 10 attacks now, so he starts with 5 because of the upgraded characteristic, and he's taken 5 wounds, so he gets 5 extra attacks. We're gonna put the cleaver there, and then the halberd over there into Zana. So we'll start with Zana.
So he's gonna hold on. So just be clear.
Yeah.
He's doing this.
Yeah, because that's way cooler.
But not like.
No,
Okay,
no. There's more momentum the first way. Momentum the first way.
Makes sense.
3s to hit Zana. Oh, we got 3 hits. And triple wound on her. But she's got that 3-up armor save now. Oh, she's fine. Alright, and then the Lord. 2 hits? No!
What?
Oh my goodness!
I get to fight you back with my sword.
Yeah, you get to fight back with the sword. Dang it.
It's a 4s.
3 hits, okay.
And 3s.
1 wound. Oh, he's down a wound! But it's okay, we got the hammer.
5s. I got a hit and experience. No, wait, that's for saves.
That's for saves.
That's a wound.
Ooh.
-2.
This is it. This is it.
6 up.
Oh, okay, you got him. Okay, so you get D3 extra experience for killing him.
Oh. 2.
2. Plus you did. She did all the damage, eh? Yeah, she did 4. Yeah. So he gets 4 and she gets 4 essentially.
Oh shit. 4. Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. So they both level up.
No. Augustus is 1 shy of leveling up.
Is he both? Oh my
One
goodness.
shy.
Oh, so he goes down, and that pretty much leaves the way clear. Now she does level up off of that. Let's do a D66 roll for her. She got 45, which is going to be Mark of Heroism.
Makes sense.
Her Empower spell allows the target to reroll failed hit rolls as well as rerolls.
Ooh, I like it.
Cutting through the Skaven, the Watchers are able to continue along the boardwalks and continue to follow them, albeit more cautiously. While they do encounter a few packs of Skaven, Huron is able to frighten them off easily enough with volleys of his hurricane crossbow. As for the shambling undead that grew increasingly more common the closer they got to the edge of the swamp, it was easy enough to avoid them, for the senses of the undead seemed to ignore the Watchers, unless they ventured too close. It wasn't long until the boardwalk came to an end, arriving at what might have once been an estuary. Even though the Watchers knew what to expect in the Kaphtar Sea, the vista before them was wholly more unsettling than they anticipated.
Alright, time for some post-game shenanigans. Let's level up these characters, see where they exceeded and see where they failed. Obviously, Huron here, he went down, he was felled, he was removed from the table, so we have to do an injury roll for him. This is a 2d6 roll. The higher you roll, the worse it is. Got a 7. That is a broken arm. The character suffers -1 to hit and -1 to wound with all melee weapons during the next mission. Reduce experience gained from this mission by D6.
Ooh.
And now for some of the leveling up mechanics. So if you are successful, each member of your party gains D6 experience. If they survived and were successful, they gain 2d6 experience. So someone who didn't survive would be Huron, who was taken out of the battle. They had to be in the battle the entire mission to gain the 2d6 experience. In addition, they roll a d6 for every wound token they had at the end of the battle. For every 4-up, they gain a further experience.
Okay.
So essentially, he had 1 wound token, and he was out of the game. So anyone who survives the game with wound tokens.
Got it.
So as they get a little bit thicker into the things, they get more experience. So we'll go ahead and
Here's the question right here, actually.
Yeah.
Do the d6 cancel themselves out, or do I roll them both?
Right, you roll, so you roll d6 he gains, and then he loses d6 afterwards.
Okay, what did I?
Yeah, so we'll see how much experience he loses, because you roll a 6 and he loses everything.
Losing 5.
So if you roll a 6, he gains one experience, essentially. Oh, he gains 1 experience.
All right.
Okay, so he gains 1 whole experience. And that's because of his injury roll, where he loses d6 experience for having the broken arm there. So this guy's going to gain 2d6 experience, and on a 4-up, he gains another experience because of his wound token.
Nice.
So he gains 7 experience.
That's enough to level him up.
Nice. And lastly, Zana, who gains 2d6 experience. 6 more. Does that level her up?
That does not.
Alright. So we have 1 level up here for the captain, and poor Huron is trailing at 4 experience, whereas he's at 25, and I think she's around 30?
27.
Okay, she's at 27. Not bad. So why don't you go ahead and roll a d66 for him.
25.
25 is Die Hard. Each time you gain a wound token on a 4-up, ignore it.
Whew.
Okay, so
That's real. I love these upgrades.
That's really good. He's Die Hard.